Hello, I am Professor Zahoor, ex-Dean Faculty of Fine Arts, Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi. I have already shown you one demonstration in oil in almost monochrome tone with burnt sienna, yellow ochre and a bit of green. In this demonstration, I will use all the colors. In previous painting, I used a bit of linseed oil also, but here I will use direct colors and develop the painting. I will start the painting by using burnt sienna as a base color and make certain space divisions before I start. Mix green and burnt sienna and apply on the horizon line. Direct color from the tube have their own purity and playfulness. Fill the lower piece with color variations and rough strokes. The colors will automatically intermingle and form their play. Start filling the upper corner of the canvas with the tone created by ultramarine blue, white and crimson. After spreading it, apply light blue under it and create a lighter tone. The light blue mixed with mauve forms another tone and turns the upper part of the sky a bit darker than the lower one. The strokes are rough and without any restraint. Mix more color and fill the lower part of the sky with a clear light blue color. More closer the strokes comes to the horizon and more white is added to the blue. The thick color is adding to the textural quality in the painting. The upper is seen mixed, while the area close to the horizon is the one where white color is just being thickly applied. The brush strokes are making it look more spontaneous and playful. An interest in foundation is being created by these placements and gaps. Each stroke is guiding the next and acting as an independent element. Like Paul Caesar said, he unfolds as a painter that which has not yet been said. He translates it into absolute term of painting, something other than reality. Let the thick patches of white touch the brown and create another tint. The white traveling over the horizon is forming its own curvings and merging itself with the whiteness of the canvas, which was left uncovered by browns while covering the lower part of the canvas. As the colors are still wet, the strokes of white are giving birth to the lighter tones of the colors and contributing to the textural quality of the painting. The haphazard strokes are looking like interlocked lights and shadows formed by colors, value, and textures. There are immense possibilities of creating volumes on the surface. One just needs to be daring enough to explore and experiment. Yellow ochre will create another dimension and keeps a mind guessing about the source of light, which is making the colors lighter and sharper. The spread of yellow ochre grants a dense look to the foreground. The area which was fully dark is now being suppressed by lighter one, making the dark just peeping through the lighter gaps. Painting is turning out to be a performance of artist's inner vision, virtuosity, wonder, and mystery. The wet on wet technique is helping in making a few colors stand out and also in diffusing certain tones. One can create sharp contrast and even merge the contours. The whole area appears as highlighted lines or patches, where light reflects from their variously angled surfaces. Every stroke makes one realize William de Raymond's wordings. A painting is a doorway into spiritual space. It is an expression of transcendent form that opens out into the infinite. The initial base has been altered to suit the desired composition. Using stark silhouette contrast of dark brown against another lighter and warm color, yellow ochre is imparting a softer look to the painting. One can observe the shaded side, a highlighted one, and a shadow beneath. The entering strokes extending in all directions, receding beyond at some places, and yet pointing straight on the other part. Take the painting in a mysterious, imaginative world and adds enigma. The little details on the dark mounts on the left is turning it into a three-dimensional form. which conform to the normal lighting expectations. The external shape is exposed, keeping the direction of light in mind. There is never ending urge to transform more, to discover more resources and reflect the vision that includes images, moods, feelings, and colors. With the layer by layer of careful mental planning, yet enough spontaneity to keep the strokes free, is the main motive of the artist. He tries to represent his abstract ideas, which gradually take a shape. There should be an inspiration to develop a personal style and explore endless possibilities. Brian Crawford Young says, most painters will tell you they are transported whenever they paint. The time just flies. It's the combination of having to concentrate and yet enjoy at a deep level the application of colors to the canvas. It's sensual and addictive. After applying a few strokes of crimson and creating a magic with greens and yellows, again the mind wants to touch the purity of white color and let another intriguing quality come up with merging on contours and subduing the stark contrast. Let the color of sky reflects on the ground and create a harmony among two spaces. Dark color becomes a little softer with these light blue strokes. Too many cuts and lines make their own divisions of space, and one starts imagining various contours lost in the shadows of the strokes. Each stroke leaves an impression and tells its own role. Ian Thoms said, a painting has the power to condense 50 impressions into one image. Create another space division by dark brown, thick line at the horizon and a few darker depths over the mounts. As one progresses, the painting itself starts communicating with the artist and tells him if he needs to keep the stroke independent or again mix it in the background. The painting leads its way. After mixing the brown line with the green of the foreground and white of the sky, a hazy look has cropped up. The scene is turning more mysterious with no defined line or shape. The middle ground has turned softer, and ambiguous character has come up in the particular corner. A little more of yellow ochre close to the haziness, and merging of some patches in the sky will remove any disturbing elements which are creating hindrance in the visual flow. But one needs to be very much alert and particular about the fact that being too much meticulous and conscious about the brush strokes can always hinder the spontaneity or rhythm and break the visual flow. A painting must trigger the imagination. It should not let the spirit of the painter rest and make him flow with the brush and colors. Henry Medici said, I want to reach the state of condensation of sensation which constitutes a picture. Perhaps I might be satisfied, but I would soon get bored looking at it. Therefore, I may recognize it as a work of my mind. Practice and observation will help an artist to draw from within the help him create his own path of individuality and uniqueness. His vision, imagination, inspiration, knowledge, and consciousness all concord together to lead his way and explore his space. It totally depends on an artist which area he wants to smoothen out, mix, and in which areas he wants to let the textures play. Preferences of each artist may vary, as it totally depends on his ideas, presumptions, theories, and concepts. The creation becomes an extract of his own visual statements, his overlapping thoughts, and his creativity. A few touch of mauve here and there, crossing the limits of the sky, is creating a connection where one can notice the unruly character of the clouds and the stormy look it is adding to the horizon. Blue is merging in brown, and greens and browns and greens are embracing the clouds with their own tones. The sharp white is governing source of light and becoming the pivot of painting. The thickness of the color is reflecting more texture in the composition, where shadows or underlayers is peeping out from in between the strokes and trying to tell their meaning and importance in adding to the beauty of silhouettes. Kandinsky once said on artistic life, there is no form, there is nothing in the world which says nothing. Often it is true, the message does not reach our soul, either because it has no meaning in and for itself, or as it is more likely because it has not been conveyed to the right place. Every serious work rings inwardly, like the calm and dignified words, here I am. It is very important for an artist to totally lose himself in the painting, then only the work will guide him in bringing out forms from his own imagination or subconsciousness mind. There are different ways and perspectives to look at a piece of art. More than an artist who is aware of what he is making, it depends on a viewer what he wants to see. For instance, the sky and the clouds can now be seen as a hyper and turbulent sea whose waves are jumping over the stones and reaching the foreground. You put darkness behind the stark white and more highlighted and raised it will become. The painting is an expression of artist's inner vision, which may be vast and varied, and beyond that, the spectator also holds his personal vision to see the world, which may be different as well as match with that of the artist. The experimental nature of an artist can hook him easily to form his own transitions with the pigment. More thick patches of white add a new dimension in the rhythm of the painting. At the every stage, an artist's restless spirit feels like applying more and more touches, and with every new edition, another impression comes up. By mingling the lighter or transparent colors with the opaque passages, one can just select the required elements from the wild imagination and give birth to something that mind desires. It is very important for a viewer to have an aware perception which can read through the abstraction of the brush stroke. Vic Muni says drawing is not only a way to come up with pictures, drawing is a way to educate your eye to understand visual information, organizing it into a more hierarchical way, a more economical way. When you see something, if you draw often and frequently, you examine a room very differently. Yellow strokes over the surface will add more luster and glow to the painting. The multiple layers of wet on wet technique reflects a unique beauty of efforts and continuous triggering of mind and imagination. One just needs to be conscious about the freshness of the colors, as the underlayers can get reactivated and totally change the nature of the color placed above. When the painting is close to the finishing point, one should just close the eyes half and see the patches which are disturbing or uselessly standing out. Like here in the sky, this dark blue patch is too prominent and is looking like a separate block. Work on it, darken it, and keep on mixing till it forms its own notion and is no longer disturbing. To balance the blue, just a small stroke of blue on the left behind the brown mounts can work wonders. Highlighting the diffusion can create miracles in the painting, but one just need to have awareness and knowledge about the colors and what effect they can create. One needs to know where to subdue harsh lines and where to leave sharp angles which can grant dramatic effect in the painting. Adding warm colors in contrast to the cool ones in the sky increases the attraction. Winding up with Ernest Krishner quote, which is a very apt for what a painter wants and desires. It seems as tough. The goal of my work has always been to dissolve myself completely into the sensation of the surroundings in order to then integrate this into a coherent painterly form.